Don't you wish you were here, like on that boat? This is a live shot, or just sitting on the beach watching the water. You know, you might have held off on your travel plans for the last 2 years, but judging by the lines at the airports right now, there are a lot of Canadians who are ready to get out and get going to places like that. So if you are thinking about a vacation, travel insurance will have to be part of those plans. Probably anyway, about a dozen countries have added new insurance rules due to pandemic. In all, 60 countries actually mandate it for tourists. So joining us to explain what you now need to consider is personal finance and travel expert Barry Choi. Welcome to Your Morning.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
I'm loving this picture here behind me because it just helps me to dream about getting on a plane. Many warm weather destinations now have some sort of travel insurance requirements. We're talking about Belize, Aruba, Jamaica, Costa Rica. Those are all on the list. Those are common ones for Canadians. How do you check the rules of where you're planning to go to find out if those rules have changed?
You know, I would say the first thing to do is just check the local tourism website. They're pretty clear now about what the regulations are. If you're booking with a travel agent, obviously ask them. They should have the most up-to-date details. But it's just one additional thing that consumers need to be aware of and shouldn't assume that you can just get in. Fortunately, a lot of these countries that have these rules in place, you can buy it when you land. So it's not like you get there, don't have it, and they send you back home.
All right. Some people might actually already have coverage through work. So whether you have an existing plan or you're looking to purchase one, what details should you be looking for? There's lots of different kinds of insurance.
Yeah, so you're going to hear me say this a lot throughout the segment, but read your terms and conditions, right? Generally speaking, most travel insurance provided by your employer or your credit card provider do not cover COVID-19. So it's a very important thing to be aware of. So in most cases, you need to buy a separate travel insurance policy. You know, we already talked about how some countries have mandatory travel insurance, but I would also look at their policies, find out how much you're covered for. So let's just say the country's only covering you for $50,000 worth of medical expenses. That sounds like a lot, but, you know, it may not cover a whole lot. But, you know, I would look for things such as, does it cover hotel quarantine? For how long? For how much? So, again, you always got to read the terms and conditions.
So you're looking for things like hotel quarantine. What else should you be looking for? If I'm reading those terms and conditions, what do I want to make sure I see?
So generally speaking, when you're getting travel insurance policies from a destination, it's usually for travel medical and hotel quarantine. But if you're buying a separate travel insurance policy from a third-party provider, I would look for things specifically like trip cancellation, trip interruption. Sometimes your credit card will cover that, but if it's for COVID-19 reasons, it may not. So even other things that people had before COVID, like, you know, lost luggage, motel burglary, having travel insurance was always a good thing. And hopefully because of COVID-19, people have realized how important it is.
I'm writing this down. Travel, medical, hotel quarantine, cancellation. What would insurance cover if you do test positive for COVID-19 while you're traveling?
Again, terms and conditions apply here. So generally speaking, most travel insurance policies that cover COVID-19 quarantine are about $200 Canadian day, up to 14 days. Some other policies I've seen out there have a maximum amount, like $3,000 US, and it depends on how much your hotels are going to cost you. So, you know, even if you're getting travel insurance directly from a country, it's not necessarily a bad idea to have top up from a separate policy, especially it gives you additional benefits that you may feel more comfortable with traveling.
Let's talk about cancellation insurance. What should you consider before you purchase it?
You know, cancellation insurance and cancellation policies are two different things. Generally speaking, I tell consumers these days, it's probably worth paying a little bit more for something that's fully refundable. For example, if you're purchasing airfare, the higher classes typically come with a better refund policy. The same thing applies to hotels. If you're booking the standard room rate, it's usually fully refundable. You know, this should be obvious, but you're always booking the cheapest rate. It's usually non-refundable, credit only. You know, we also talked about credit card insurance. Some of them cover trip cancellation or flight interruption. And even some companies such as Air Canada Vacations, they have optional travel insurance that you can purchase that allows you to get a full refund up to 21 days before or credit within 3 days. So there's a lot of options. And again, read the terms and conditions.
Yeah, do all the boring stuff so that you can relax once you get there. Thanks, Barry.
No problem.
Hey, thanks for watching. If you liked this, be sure to subscribe here, or you can check out more Your Morning videos right here.